Assalamu alaikum and good evening, viewers. Today is my second news analysis vlog, and topic is Pakistan. Is it now an inflation state? So I intend to do a deep dive into how corruption, misgovernance, and cartels break a nation. Just a few days ago, I came across a World Bank report. Nearly 45% of Pakistan population now lives below the poverty line, earning less than $4.2 a day. That means almost half the country population is now below poverty line. We apparently are run by a system, some call it hybrid system of governance, but whatever it is, we need to look if it is working for the country as a whole, or is it a system rigged for elite, not for the farmers or general public? The inflation trap, a nation in economic crisis. 45% of Pakistan now below the poverty line. That's the World Bank report 2025. Real wages have stagnated while essentials skyrocket. Inflation is not just an economic figure, it's a survival crisis. Poor households are spending more than 80% of their income on food and energy alone. Pakistan's inflation to me is no longer cyclical. It appears very much structural. The poor are pushed further below poverty, unable to buy food or pay their bills. This isn't just misfortune, it's a design. This presentation will trace who fuels inflation, who benefits, and what we can do. So let's see. Before we move into that area, I wanted to first, for some of my viewers who may not be familiar with the term inflation, so let's understand what it is. It is a price rise, but impact is unequal on the elite or rich and the poor. Food inflation peaked at 48%, most likely highest in Asia, and the utility bills doubled in 2 years. Rupees 1,000 now buy only one meal for a family of 4, not more. Chicken per kg is rupees 680 in Lahore, a 400% increase since 2020. Inflation is like a silent thief. It steals without breaking in. Inflation is different for different people. For elite, it's just an accounting figure. For the poor, it's hunger. When food becomes unaffordable and electricity unaffordable, people lost their dignity. This has led to suicides, school dropouts, and crimes. Pakistan inflation is no more a weather event, to me at least. It appears more like engineered by policy, protected by silence. So let's start breaking the boat. We can see the real pain for the people who pay taxes and who earn below average. Electricity has tripled because government pays IPP for power they don't even use. It is called circular debt. What it means is that the government owes about 2.5 trillion to power companies. So what they do is they simply hike your bills, not for the elite and those who steal, to pay these IPP on us. This isn't just inflation, it is engineered poverty. Reckless money printing with no production backup. Energy circular debt has crossed rupees 3 trillion. Cartels manipulate essential goods, sugar, wheat, oil, import reliance on petrol, wheat medicine, currency depreciation, fuel cost push inflation, tax system punishes the poor but exempt the powerful. Engines of inflation. What are they? So, kickbacks, energy subsidies, export scams, cartel friendly pricing policies, no reforms, no investment in public transport, bribery bloats infrastructure's cost. Corruption isn't abstract. It inflates your grocery bill. From sugar mafias to energy deals, corrupt decisions are passed on as prices. When a sugar export is manipulated, it leads to scarcity. When power contracts are rigged, we pay for it every month. What is the impact of inflation? Who gets and who escapes the pain? Feudal lords own 60% of agricultural land, but they pay 0% tax. MPs declare a less than rupees 100,000 in taxes. Isn't that amazing? How much they spent to get into the parliament, but how much income they declare? 75% of FPR revenue comes from salaried class and indirect taxes. Elite keeps luxury subsidies, poor lose food subsidies. Military and civil bureaucracy enjoy fixed perks even amid inflations. Meanwhile, pensions and minimum wage lags far behind. The biggest tragedy isn't just inflation, it's who suffers from it. Our system is protecting the rich. As a teacher or a shopkeeper who pays 35% in tax, a feudal baron or a general pays nothing and gets SUVs, plots, and perks. Its irony doesn't make me happy to share, but it appears just like that. How manipulation contributes to inflation and economic instability. Sugar cartel sabotaged digital monitoring. That's an FIA report 2021. Wheat hoarding during flood seasons, then imported 3 times the price. Amazing. Oil marketing companies adjust prices with insider info. The cement cartel sets rates despite low demand. Milk adulterated to cut costs, yet prices rise. No prosecutions, cartel owners are donors and MPs. This is who run Pakistan's economy, not the market forces. They decide what the nation pays, when, and how much. With links to political parties and media houses, they operate with impunity. Inflation isn't failure, it's a business model. Let's see the two regimes, 2018 to 2025, 3.5 years each. Imran's era, fuel, electricity, frozen artificially. That was an IMF breach. I even came across the figure that during his government, almost 8 trillion rupees were generated, out of which nearly 50% gone into repayments of loans, debt servicing, and the remaining he used for a good cause, though, that was like providing shelters, giving health cards, and providing meals, langar khanas, to those who couldn't even afford. But he missed one thing in it. He didn't generate the infrastructure which could have made this model sustainable. The infrastructure to growth, if had been created, things would have been or might have been little better. Despite that, I must give some credit to him for having a good heart and intention. PDM era. Well, we were able to get into IMF good books again, but when they entered with zero safety net for poor. So poor is continuously suffering, despite their promises that they will look after. Subsidy cuts without targeted relief results into inflation shocks. Currency floated without capital control. Wheat, gas, and petrol crisis due to delayed decisions. Bad policy is worse than no policy. Populist relief without long-term reforms under one era created holes. The next era plugged them with brutal taxes. The poor were crushed. This wasn't about planning, it was about protecting elites' profit. The cost of rigged governance, corruption, factors contribute to inflation. 2022 vote of non-confidence and 24 elections manipulation led to almost a loss of $2 billion to Pakistan's financial stability, leading the country to borrow more. Out of this, capital flight was approximately $1.5 billion by the elites, 300 million to buy non-confidence votes gone into the personal pockets, 50 million plus for the election manipulations. All these figures, news, statistics are reported by international media. Pakistan Stock Exchange dropped 1,800 points post-polls 2024. After elections, uncertainty, as it is alleged, vast-scale manipulation took place. IMF delayed tranche due to creditability concerns because of this election rigging. Investors' confidence collapsed amid aid misused. Global trust in Pakistan weakens. Rigged politics equals economic instability. Economic stability needs political legitimacy. Investors do not trust a regime that comes via rigging. The 2024 elections outcome triggered panic in market. The rupee fell, IMF paused, inflation soared. This is predictable chain reaction. Misgovernance, disaster and debt. 2022 floods equaled rupees 3.2 trillion loss. Mismanaged relief. Who gained? Where did it went? Foreign aid untracked redirected to political favorites. Debt servicing, now 62% of total budget. Development projects halted due to circular debt. Health education budgets slashed. Infrastructure contracts awarded to cronies. Inflationary pressure. Disasters aren't just natural, they are misgoverned. The 2022 floods exposed how weak our response system is. International money vanished in local political networks. With no development and rising debts, inflation is the only thing we have grown. Policy fixes. So, what can we do? A road map to redemption, to get out of crisis? Should we go for universal food subsidy with digital targeting? But why our governments are not interested in it? Digital targeting, digitization of the economy, breakup of cartels, enact and enforce competition laws. But can we do that? In the history, when we look at whether it was Musharraf, whether it was Imran, nobody was able to succeed. In other words, whether it is a martial law, whether it is a civilian law, government, nothing happens. And the current, they are flourishing. Stop elite subsidies, expand basic income for poor. That is what all civilized, developed countries do. Are we ready for it? Invest in local farming, storage, and supply chains instead of giving tax-free heavens to the big landlords. Renegotiate IPP contracts to cut power costs, as was done in the previous era. Impose agriculture and wealth tax on elites. Are we ready for it? But can we survive without doing it? Change must begin with policy. We need food security first. That means targeted subsidies, not IMF driven austerity. Cartels must be legally dismantled. Electricity costs can be reduced by fixing power deals. Tax justice is essential to economic justice. Finally, what people should do. Maybe vote for local, honest leadership, not the dynasties. Or, as someone suggested, also from independent international media, one dynasty or political family, one seat or one vote. Use your voice, social boycott of cartel brands, buy local. Promote community food banks, shared transports. Demand digital transparency in subsidies and import. Push for progressive tax reforms, not indirect taxes. Silence helps the corrupt. Exposure helps reforms. Can someone in the system protect those who are exposing now? We aren't helpless. Each voice matters. Boycott, local activism, demanding transparency, these shifts power. Inflation may feel unstoppable now, but it's man-made. And what's man-made can be dismantled by people's power. That includes you. I hope it makes some sense to you just like it makes some to me. And together we move towards the direction where we maybe help our poor, common people, small farmers to break the shackles of this inflation. Thank you very much for listening. Hope to see you soon again on another topic.